Yeah, it had nothing to do with the paranormal. So.
That's good.
So look forward to that one, guys.
But that actually also has some validity to what you do. You're not finding it all.
Well, the show's called Ghost Hunters, and we actually fought that name for a while because it's not really what we're about. We go in and we try to discover the truth about what's happening. And then you find equal success whether you debunk it or you actually find evidence. So a lot of people just go out there looking for ghosts. You know, if they debunk it, they don't really have any motivation to debunk it, but when they do, they're kind of bummed. No, what are you talking about? You're helping the client.
And we'd love for sci-fi to play more of the episodes where we're able to debunk these claims. Of course, it's up to them which episodes they air.
Right, Tango?
Right. Well, and actually, I'm going to ask Steve and Tango a question. So you guys are usually on a different team. I mean, Steve, you're running the tag and things like that. So if you see something that debunks, or you see something that's like, ooh, that needs more, what is your steps to go through to say, we need somebody else to look at this room or in this area more? How do you do that?
Usually once we handle it, we don't make any close things.
Nice.
I know you're that awesome. I know you're that awesome.
I'm only kidding, man. And I've had a lot of times where you can't quite understand what's happening, you know, you can't get a grip on it, and we'll call in other people. I mean, Jane Grant called me and Tango, hey, can you guys help us recreate these lives? They'll call us. I mean, we'll call them, and obviously, and Chris and Amy will work together, try to disprove things. But usually the team that's there will be, I mean, we're all trained in such a way that we're pretty good at handling ourselves.
Unless it's a spider.
Then usually Grant and I have to come to Steve's rescue on that. Using Chris's flip-flop.
Okay, so now let me ask the international guys. So I know it's basically the same process, but you also have a lot more history in your areas sometimes, especially because of where you are. So how does that get handled in your investigations?
It sometimes puts us in an awkward position because we'll go into places that, you know, for many years people have claimed to have this incredible paranormal activity, and obviously a lot of these are historical landmarks, and it comes out of the fact that it's very unfortunate that some of them are actually looking for ghost hunting type activities to help fund to protect these places. I can't tell how many places I go that have this white lady that has never shown up, and a lot of these very, very old school typical haunting stories. So it can get a little daunting every time we go in. We're like, okay, another white lady, another case of footsteps. But the incredible part of it is the locations that are very legit. It's really almost overwhelming when we look into to the history of the place. We do the research. It's really a daunting task sometimes to see how much of stuff that we've captured relates to one portion or another of the history. We kind of have an advantage there because, you know, most of Europe is old as dirt, so there's layers and layers of stuff for us to go through. So that kind of works like that. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Chin?
And a lot of times we go overseas, a lot of places we go to, a lot of the culture, they're superstitious, so they automatically believe that it's haunted just because people have said that they've seen things. And that's not necessarily the case most of the time. So we have to take into account what we find, a little bit of what they tell us, and then we make up our own mind on whether or not it's truly haunted or not.
And it's kind of tough sometimes when we do have to come out and tell the police, you know, there's no sign of paranormal activity there, just because it's been reported for so many years. Like I know we had to do that in Italy, and it was really difficult there because one of the spirits that was reported was like a local folk hero, you know, and so for them to have to listen to us say, you know, there's no sign of this gentleman being here, it was a little bit of a hit for them to take, but at the same time, we showed them scientifically what we did, and I think they respected our opinions on it. Sometimes I gamble, just you can cut my mic if I keep going.
Steve, you're having a lot of fun.
What did I do?
You're having a lot of fun. What you
yes.
Okay. All right. So this is the last question. If anybody wants to queue up, do that really quick. So with your investigations, has there ever been a time when you're doing the investigations, and I'm going to let y'all answer this as I walk out there, but has there ever been a time when you're doing the investigations and you wish, wow, I really wish we had X, Y, or Z, or we had done something else while we were doing the investigation, or you're trying to set up on the fly to change something, that you find something and you're just not sure what's going on?
Yes.
It's all the time.
Yeah, I remember the first time that really slapped me in the face was St. Augustine Lighthouse. You guys remember that? Most of the stories came from the museum part. We only put one camera in the actual lighthouse. There were no stories from the lighthouse, and so we only put one camera there. It was sort of like one out, but what happened is we ended up getting all the evidence from the lighthouse tower and nothing from the museum. So obviously we wish we had focused our attention more on
Yeah, hindsight's always 20/20. I mean, every case. I mean, just kind of hoping the camera's in the right place, but every case, you're just like, man, if we had that tilted a little more to the left, it's a pain.
International, anything like that?
I know it actually, this ties into what I was talking about with the research of the place. We did a prison up in Latvia, and there was this tragic tale of this young woman who had to go through a certain amount of circumstances in order to gain access to the prison to try to free her fiance, only to find out that he was already deceased, and she took her own life there. And they kept telling us, well, it's cell number 8, and show us where it is. Just being very thorough, we continued to go cell to cell anyway, but we did have a variety of equipment set up in cell number 8, only to find out during the investigation, Barry and I were in a cell and this woman's voice comes through, and that's the only place she was heard all night, and we go back and do research later and find out the cells had been renumbered. So just lucky, like both teams are very thorough, and so we did go through every other cell, because if we spent all night in cell number 8, we would have never heard this woman, and it was one of the most incredible things that I think I've been able to experience.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, guys. All right, so we've got our first question here.
Hi. First off, thanks for coming out every year. You're here to answer our questions personally. My question actually is for Dustin and partially Joe. You've had experience...
Only part of Joe?
Well,
Which part?
Dustin's had experience with both Ghost Hunters and Ghost Hunters International, whereas Ghost Hunters is more of a personal and family kind of homes, and International is more famous locations for the most part. And, Europe being more accepting of the paranormal usually. Does that affect how you go into the investigation? Like, is it more skeptical, or does it affect it at all?
Well, I mean, that's a tango move, Steve. Don't steal his bit.
Sorry, man. I mean to interrupt.
No, I can speak on both behalves. As you mentioned, I was with both teams on both programs, and we always go in skeptical. That's part of what being a part of the THAPS family is about. And it's an important part of being a scientific investigator. It is a little tougher, as Joe spoke about the superstitions, it's a little tougher to discern what the stories are when we're out there. We really put our feelers out and find out what the society believes, what the religious beliefs are, and how that might be affecting what they're reporting to us. But the same level of skepticism. I'll let you talk to partial Joe Chin. I'd recommend talking to his upper half than his lower, although sometimes you hear from both ends.
A lot of the times when we go out, I like to not listen to the stories and the reports and to find out what I can find for myself. So a lot of times we go in, I'd rather not hear the stories of where the activity is and what kind of activity it is. I want to, tune into the place that I'm going and try to find what I can find.
Thanks, guys.
Sure.
No worries.
Sorry, see, sure.
Hi guys, thank you for all being so awesome.
We do our best.
And I follow Jay and Grant on Twitter, and this summer,
Whoops!
you guys tweeted a lot about Meatloaf being on an investigation.
We like meatloaf.
And I am a huge Meatloaf fan, and I was just wondering what it was like investigating.
Awesome.
We had an incredible time with him. He's the most down-to-earth person out there. Huge fan of the show. It was a wonderful experience. He was so into investigating. He knows every episode we've ever done. He knows everything about every team member.
It's a little creepy.
Yeah, it was. And, he was just so into the investigation, knew exactly, because he had watched every episode, so he felt like he was on these investigations. And he would get right in there and start investigating.
He got so excited to investigate.